want to thank you for taking the time to join us here on Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey and got a couple of first-timers in with us. We heard about them last few months. Polk County School Board, great partners of the Polk County School Board. That would be Heart for Winter Haven. And joining us is Brad Beatty. He's the Executive Director of Heart for Winter Haven. Also, Tabitha Keith, she's the Director of Programs for Heart for Winter Haven. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
So, Brad, talk to me a little bit about Heart for Winter Haven. You said it's been around for a little while. I've been in Winter Haven since '97. That's almost all my life. But how did you get started?
Yeah, great. We started 11 years ago. It was an idea that people at my church were kicking around. It was a newly formed church, and they decided, you know, if in some way they weren't making an impact in the city in general, kind of what's the point of doing it? So it was really a deliberate gift to the city. And so we were looking for areas that were not being addressed in Winter Haven that would make Winter Haven just a great place and leave a great legacy.
As I was bumping around through your website yesterday, the more I read, the more I was impressed. And the staff that you have, talk to me a little bit about the folks that are working for you.
I have great staff. Many of them started as volunteers. We do a lot of programs, and most of them came on at some point just participating as volunteers, just showed a real passion for what they do, highly intelligent, and with that passion and that intelligence, it's just really a great winning team.
Well, Tabitha, as Brad had said, he said there are a lot of programs, and as the Director of Programming, what are some of the things that we might see within the city of Winter Haven that are available?
So we do kind of our bread and butter going to be our faith and finances and jobs for life. So think of it like employability training and then stewardship training. And then we also do some one-off programs, like right now we're doing a medical billing and coding class for people that are looking to get into some middle skill careers. And next year we're looking at some GED classes. We're honestly always doing anything, so it just depends on what time of the year you catch us.
Tabitha, talk about the importance of what you're doing. Not only giving back to the community, but help building the community and giving those individuals marketable skills to create a better Winter Haven, as in your vision. Yeah,
a lot of it starts with helping people to restore their dignity and their God-given worth, and then once they realize that they have value, they're able to apply that to their lives, and that includes their households, their jobs, their finances. So it's just really important to help people to realize that they do have value and that they're able to leverage that to make a better community.
I think given our definition of what's behind poverty is that there's brokenness in relationships, and so those are times too to restore that, because we bring people from the community in with our families that we're working with, and they get a chance to grow together, and that's really where the magic happens. We think that's where the transformation really takes place in that community forum.
Brad, talk a little bit about you stated on it briefly, but when someone is just barely making ends meet and life is difficult because you don't know where the next check's coming from. You don't know if you can meet all the bills. Talk about the skills that you're giving the individuals and really giving them a hand up, really not a handout. Talk about how it improves their life.
Yeah, so United Way has this concept of ALICE. You've probably heard, asset limited, income constrained, but employed, and that's where a lot of our families are. I think 54% of Polk County families are ALICE or below. So they're working, they're just, like you said, they're just not getting anywhere. There's not enough margin in their life to grow, to increase those assets, and they don't maybe have the knowledge, or they didn't grow up around in the marketplace to understand where, how to grow their income. So that's really what we're addressing, and it starts with the person, their own dignity, and having those relationships, sometimes with self, get restored first, and then getting an understanding of what the marketplace demands. Basics are, show up on time, work the whole time, get along with people, be teachable. That's what every job you got to have. So I think just reviewing some of that, but sometimes teach them for the first time, and then giving them a safe place to fail and to learn. And through the support of that community, people really get the hope and the courage to try for the higher position, or to start trying to cut back and begin saving money and create some margin. So we try to encourage that, and we try to find different ways to help folks succeed and kind of overcome those limitations.
Tabitha, when it comes to the program side of the house, how do you recruit? How do you go out and find the people? How do people find out about you? Talk to me a little bit about that, if you would, please.
Yeah, we've had a lot of success with word of mouth. When people come to our programs, they really see the value of it, and they go out and they tell their friends. And then we use social media a lot. We also flyer at our local apartment complexes. We have a flyer up right now for our upcoming Jobs for Life and Faith and Finances at Chili's in Winter Haven. So a lot of it is word of mouth and social media. And then we're always asking people that are registering, hey, is there anybody that you think would like to join this with you? Because the more people that you can kind of get in your community and your corner to come, the more success that you're going to have.
We've had whole families, even, because we also offer some of our programs for kids from kindergarten up, and even kids can learn the value of money and things. And so like right now, we've got one whole family. I think almost everybody in their family has been through one version of our programs, and that's where real trajectory change takes place. It's a
great success story.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that we want to talk about today, you guys are incredible partners of Polk County Public Schools. The girls that come in all the time talk about people making a difference in each one of the 5 areas that they're in. How did you guys get involved with Polk County Public Schools?
Well, go back a little bit further. Back in 2018, the City Commission of Winter Haven was approached with this idea of homeless students. And so some of the commissioners asked us to undergo a study to understand what that was. And so we learned about HEARTH, the homeless education social workers who track that number every year. So that's going way back, and the city decided to do something about it. They decided we don't want to go any longer without addressing this problem. And so getting to know Ashley when she got in her position really connected the pieces for that. We'd been working with HEARTH, and of course I've been on Winter Haven Public Education Partnership, which is a nonprofit. I've been on their board for years. So we were able to kind of connect those dots. Because we found out that Winter Haven High School had one of the highest number of homeless students in the county, and definitely among the schools there in Winter Haven. And so we thought that'd be a great place to really shorten the distance between us and those families that were maybe wanting some help.
Yeah. And Brad, one of the things that's really important, you guys are there. When families are homeless, kids are homeless, they think of the end result, that they're coming to take them away. Where you guys, the programs that you are doing, the things that you're investing back into the community are to keep that family together. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's right. Homelessness is not a crime, certainly not for families. And we have great partnerships with those folks who are concerned about kids who might be neglected or abused. But homelessness is not one of those reportable things. And for us, trying to keep the family whole and to get them not just rehoused, but create really a safe and stable home. So all the elements that we all want to have in our homes is what we're trying to do. And part of that is safety and security, knowing that somebody's not going to come and take your kids or report you. Yeah. So we try to build those relationships and build that understanding with those families, so that they understand that if they're talking with us, that's safe.
Your programs, how are they funded? Obviously, you guys are a nonprofit. How are you funded? And then how can folks help out at home?
So we do a lot of fundraising since we're a private charity. In fact, we have our annual fundraising banquet coming up November 11th. It'll be at Heartland Church. It'll be our, I think, 8th annual one. So we raise money through private donations. Also through grants. We have a grant with Homer and Annette Thompson Family Foundation that's helping to support our work at Winter Haven High School. And but primarily it's through private individuals just making that commitment monthly to give a little bit, whatever they can.
Tabitha, I want you to inspire the folks at home to get off the couch, get in to see you, become part of you, if you could, please.
Yeah, so there is nothing better than walking alongside a family that, like you said, needs kind of a hand up, not a hand out. And it's really a way to glimpse what God is doing in people's lives, and inevitably you're going to be changed too. It's better to give than to receive, and giving of your time and your energy and your experience as well. That's one thing that our staff has in droves is lived experience, and so being able to relate to a person even though you may be in a different situation than them is so crucial to building relationships. And we believe that poverty is rooted in broken relationships, so restored relationships are the antidote. So if you want to be a part of that, and that's how you do it.
Yeah, and we have classes starting October. We ideally have an ally or a champion. That's what we call our volunteers, walking alongside each adult family member, just to be that extra kind of a got your back person, but also help provide those community connections, because still most jobs we find through relationships, and Winter Haven's no different. And so the more folks we have involved, the better. And because we know that this problem, our goal by 2030 is to end child homelessness in Winter Haven. And then we'll see where that takes us from there. We're hoping across Polk County, but that's going to require the whole community. So we need people to get involved, give their time, give their resources, their expertise, their ideas. We can do this. This is our moonshot moment. And if we're going to create a different legacy in Winter Haven and be known for something other than just this, sweet smell of citrus blossoms or orange blossoms, I think that another kind of that aroma of having made families whole. And the outcomes for kids who are homeless are terrible in terms of education, future incarceration, future homelessness. That's those homeless individuals today. Many of them were homeless as kids, and because they had that experience. Imagine the reverse of that when our neighborhoods are safe, when kids are coming home to refrigerators with food in there. Mom and dad are coming back from work, and they've got their stuff. They're sleeping in their bed. And that's when our educational outcomes change. That's when our city becomes known for something really great.
Well, Brad and Tabitha, I want to thank you guys for coming in today. Anytime that we can help you promote anything that you've got going on, please come back and see me, would you?
Would.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Heart for Winter Haven's mission is to connect all of our cities together, alleviate poverty, restore relationships, and elevate the entire community. Simply to care. Since 2014, Heart for Winter Haven has worked to strengthen relationships and encourage collaboration among the various sectors of our city. Now, if you need more information, you can look them up on the web at www.heartforwh.org. Or you can give them a call, 863-291-6270. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.